Welcome back to our Introduction to SQL Programming course. This is still session 6, Data Manipulation Language. In this video, we are going to discuss the SQL built-in functions. So SQL does come with a group of built-in functions very similar to most programming languages, if not all the popular programming languages. Things such as sum, average, string conversion, and other string manipulation functions. So aggregate types of functions, they return summary values such as max, min, average. Conversion converts one data type to another. So number 10, that's string data, can be converted to an integer. 10.1 real can be converted to an integer, which would just be 10 in that case. Date converts data to a date, but it has to be formatted in a way it can be formatted to a date. And if you don't pass that, the system will return an error. It has to be able to use a 12-month year, obviously. You can't have numbers that would convert days of the month to higher than 31 and so on. So there are going to be a lot of rules for date conversion. So you may have to go through and make sure that you're formatting. And a lot of times you pass what's called a text mask that you use for your date formatting, and you may need to check that based on the database you're using. Again, mathematical functions could be things like min, max, count. So so take a look at the different mathematical functions. String performs operation on character strings and binary data. So you can even do substrings with built-in functions. System returns certain database system data, so system specific, and text and image performs operations on text and data that's stored in the database. Here are some of the base built-in functions that come with SQL. Database providers such as Microsoft may include others, but we have the AVG function, the count function. So this averages a listing, whatever's passed to it. The count returns a specific count of whatever's being passed. Max returns the maximum value in an expression that's passed to max. Sum sums up only the distinct values in an expression. So again, these are the base functions, and there are more than just this, so please consult the documentation for the database that you are using. These can be quite useful. So let's have a look at some examples for the aggregate functions. So we'll take a look at this table here we'll take a look at the classes table, and we can see the record set there. So it's returning 9. So the first function that we want to take a look at, let's look at the count function and just return the row count. This is something that can often be quite useful. So let's pass in select count from classes, and we're going to count all the records. And we have 9 back, and our original listing agrees with that. So that's the count function, which can often be very useful. And let's try the sum function. So instead of, we want to get the sum of student count. So let's take a look here again. And we can see student count column there. So let's do select sum of, and we have to pass in the column. And from classes. And so this is returning a sum of all of the student count columns. And let's take a look again at, maybe we'll run the average. There we go, there's the average student count, and right there, that's the average in each class. still quite large. So these are some of the functions. Again, we can also run min and max. Let's try max first. We can see here the max, and we can also run the min. So again, these are some of the functions that come with this particular database, and these are the base functions that come with SQL. You need to consult the documentation for the database you're using for other functions.